Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for attending. How is everybody's afternoon? Having fun at this year's IMATS? Yeah, good. Well, without further ado, please welcome to the stage Lindsay Dickout.
Thank you. I'm going to hop up on stage so I can see everyone. Okay, I am so excited for today. I hope you guys are excited too. Welcome to IMATS 2015 and How to Spray Tan Like a Pro seminar. Today we are going to tell you all about the spray tanning industry and why it's exciting, why now is a perfect time to get into spray tanning if you're not already. And of course, we're going to show you how to do a perfect spray tan. So first, I want to give you a little bit of introduction. I know everyone's kind of coming here maybe with some background or not a lot of background, so I want to kind of just give you a good summary on the sunless tanning industry and the spray tanning industry in general. The spray tanning, sunless tanning industry is $1 billion industry and growing every year. We really have seen a big progression, obviously, in people doing sunless tanning of some sort rather than laying in the sun or doing tanning beds. Which is great for health and great for, it's really become well known as the only safe way to get a tan, doing some sort of sunless tan. And a spray tan is the most professional, overall fabulous tan you can get. So we are here from Million Dollar Tan to tell you everything that we know. Our company began in 2003, so we've been in business for 12 years. We are one of the leaders in the industry. We've become a big business, but we also still operate like a small boutique business. We're very hands-on and very passionate about the industry. Like I said, we're a big business. We have thousands of accounts all across the country, but we really still work hands-on with each one of our accounts. So when you sign on with our team, you get a personal email from me and a text message. So you have my email, my business phone number, and everyone on our team. We really like to get in and help you because we have so many really good accounts. We know what it takes to make your business really successful and be able to execute really, really awesome spray tans and build a really big business for yourself. So we're excited you're here today, and let's get into the tanning, kind of the heart of how to do a really good spray tan. My goal with doing a good spray tan is obviously giving someone a tan that's perfect for them, based on what they want. But also, I want it to be efficient, I want it to be problem-free, I want it to be fast. Our goal is to get our tanners to be once-a-week tanners. So they come in, they know it's gonna be 15 minutes, in and out, and off they go. I don't believe in pre-sprays or post-sprays or making the process too complicated. There really isn't a benefit to adding these extra steps, and you're just making the process so much longer. People are busy, and our goal is for most of our people to be weekly tanners. So if the process is an hour instead of 15 minutes, you're just gonna have people come half as much just because it's so much more of an ideal, of an ordeal. So we've really taken the process and figured out how to give a really great spray tan in 15 minutes. It's detailed, it's specific, it's super dark if they want to be, it's super natural if they want it to be, and it lasts a full week, isn't sticky, dries quickly, and looks really natural on everyone. You have to leave the tan on for a full 6 hours for the DHA to develop, and it maxes out at 12 hours. So if you have someone who really wants to get the most out of their tan, they could come to you at 8 p.m. and shower the next day at 8 a.m. and they'll really get the maximum effect out of their sunless tan. All sunless tanners are made with DHA. That's the active ingredient that actually gives you a sunless tan. The quality of DHA is the most important thing, making sure that it's a raw, organic DHA, and just giving the most high-quality raw ingredients is really the most important thing. So The difference between a spray booth and a custom tan, besides the obvious method of application, is also the ingredients involved. So if you're going into a spray booth, they're using so much solution because it's like a car wash of a tan. So they can't use the highest quality ingredients. So that's why if you go into a spray booth, even though it's a similar kind of method, the quality of solution is so much lower just because they're using so much. So that tan may last maybe 4 days. It could rub off when you sweat or wear tight clothing. Whereas if you have a really good sunless tanning solution with organic raw ingredients, then it's going to last as long as the skin takes to naturally exfoliate. And that's really the key that you want to make sure you educate your guests on. So your tan can only last as long as your skin takes to naturally exfoliate. It permanently colors the outer layer of skin and comes off naturally and gradually and very evenly. The only way your sunless tan can come off unevenly if you're using a high quality solution like ours is if your skin gets way too dry. So the key is to make sure you educate your guests to make sure they keep their skin very well lotioned. Ideal is to use a very thick lotion twice a day. It'll keep your skin super hydrated and really make your tan last as long as possible. And when it does fade really nice and evenly and not have any uneven spots at all. As you can tell, we're passionate about spray tanning. We love this stuff and we love education. And what goes along with educating you guys is you guys educating your guests. The more you educate your guests, the better they're going to take care of their sunless tan. They're not going to have any issues, any complaints, and they're going to come to you once a week flawless. They're going to be obsessed with it. One of the reasons why this industry is so big and why we love it so much and why we have so many accounts that are so successful is because it's such an awesome industry. It makes people instantly look good. It makes all bodies look better and more fit and more toned and more glowing and vibrant and alive. It makes people look good instantly. It makes people feel good. And from your perspective, it takes you 15 minutes. It costs you about $3 per tan. And most people on average charge about $40 per tan. So from a business standpoint, it's a brilliant business. I mean, bottom line, it's a brilliant business. It costs you $4 per tan. It takes you 15 minutes. So if you're doing them back to back, say you're doing 4 tans an hour in a 6-hour period, your cost, like I said, is about $3 per tan. So that's $12 per hour. So in a 6-hour day, you're talking about less than $100 of your raw cost. If you're charging about $40, the total that you'll make is just under $1,000. And then if you deduct your $100 of cost, you're right around $900. But then that's not including the tips. So then you've done 24 people in that day. So you add at least $200 in tips. Now you're at $1,100 of pure profit in one day, and that's doing a 6-hour day. Now that's a full day. That's 24 tans. You might need an assistant to help you or 2 people going back and forth. But once you're really doing the service and once you really have it down to a 15-minute process, it's absolutely doable. We have accounts that do it all day long. And the cool thing is it's a fast pace. If you do it at that schedule, it's fast paced, but it's not labor intensive. We have so many people that come to us that are massage therapists or hairstylists, manicurists, or estheticians. And a massage therapist will do a massage and she'll get $80 for an hour. But it's labor intensive. It's exhausting. You can't do it 8 hours a day every day. With this, that same massage therapist learns this trade, and she'll make $80 in 2 tans in just a half hour. And it's not labor intensive, it's fun, and it's also more of a regular service for people. There's a very small group of people that get services like a massage or a facial every single week. But there's a huge population of people who get a spray tan once a week because as your tan fades, you apply it, you want to keep it up. Whereas something more like a massage or a facial that's more of a luxury, people just don't quite do as often. So it's a really high demand service. We have so many people in other industries that add this on, and they end up doing this service more than their other services just because your guest comes to you more often, you make a lot more money, and also it's just a lot easier on the body, and it's for you as people doing the service, it's just such an easy, fun service. It's just not as difficult as other services. So and of course, I love the money part of it. I'll help you guys individually with all of your specific situations. But no matter how you do it, it's a brilliant business. I like $40 for one tan, but you can really, in different areas, depending on where you're at, or if you're mobile, if you're doing it out of your home, the price can change a little bit. The main goal is to make sure that your pricing is reasonable for people to do once a week. That's the biggest mistake I find, that if your pricing is too high for people to do once a week, then they'll just come to you when they're going on vacation or for holidays, New Year's, Valentine's Day, things like that. But we really want to make it easy for people to be able to come to you once a week. And there are two parts to that: making it efficient, making it quick, and also making it reasonable, so that you have something that people could do once a week and they don't hesitate because of the price. So. But like I said, with your cost being so low, it's really about $3 per tan. You will use between 2 and 6 ounces of tanning solution per tan, but the average is about 4 ounces. So at 4 ounces, depending on how much solution you purchase at a time, it really ends up being about $3 per tan, which is awesome. And it also gives you a lot of leeway so that you can give discounts, or you can offer people their first tan for free. One of my favorite strategies is giving discounts and offering people's first tan either for free or half off. Because once people try it, they're hooked. Once they see the color, once they see their skin tone even out, once they see their legs look so much more even and you don't see varicose veins or little lines or bumps or bruises or whatever people have, once they try it, they love it. So make it easy for people to come to you for the first time. Make sure you educate them well, make it an easy, comfortable experience, and people will come back to you and they will make it part of their regular routine, and really your business will really boom. Another one of my favorite things is make sure that you have a good referral program. It's a very high referral service. You could have an awesome pedicure, but then you go off into your real life and you're wearing shoes, so people don't always see your pedicure. You just don't always refer things as much as this. With this, everywhere you go, you're glowing. You look better than you did the day before. It's a very high referral service, so make sure you incentivize your guests. Keep a referral book, and maybe every 3 tans they refer to you, they get a free tan. No matter what, for you, again, it's mostly your time because your cost is so low. But don't be afraid to give away free tans or give away half off tans, because you will really see the benefits. The more people that you expose, the more regular guests you're going to get. Bottom line. If you guys have questions along the way, feel free to raise your hand, and I want to make sure that I get to all those. We'll do questions at the end too, but if you think of something, don't be afraid to stop me. All right, Miss Amanda, you ready? Okay. We're going to get it. Yeah, go for it. That's right. Yeah. So we use a spray gun. The equipment is right here. I'll let you stay robed for just 1 second, Mike, just because it's a little chilly. So we use a compressor with a spray gun. This spray gun is right in the middle of all of the different types of equipment. So there's really I'm going to turn this off really quick. There are 3 types of equipment. The first is an airbrush, like you would do airbrush makeup. And that is going to take you about 45 minutes per tan. It takes too long and it's too easy to have little mistakes. The other extreme is kind of a high-powered HVLP massive spray tan machine. It's loud. You can't talk to your guests during the tan, which is totally a deal breaker. And it's just too much of a mist. If someone has tan lines, there's no way you're evening out those tan lines with one of these massive guns. So with this, we have the best of both worlds. We can do an efficient 15-minute tan, but we also aren't doing such an efficient tan that we can't even out tan lines, do body contouring, things like that. So the tanning solution goes right in here. Super, super simple. We have a very fine mist needle that produces a wide, fine mist. So you don't have to change anything. You don't have to do any adjustments. Once you start, you can completely go. All right, you ready for this? It might be a little chilly. So I will give you this beauty cap. So we have, we do a beauty cap. It washes out completely out of everything. It's just more comfortable for them not to leave you with any moisture or any wetness in their hair. I always have baby wipes here on hand. And with I love the art of spray tanning. I love every detail about it. And there are several ways that you can really perfect the tan. We have two types of barrier products, a barrier cream and a barrier oil. They both work the same way, totally based on preference. One's a dry oil and one's a lotion. I'll use the oil today. I like it because it's new and it's really innovative, and you don't have to touch it. You don't have to touch it at all, so it just makes it really quick and easy. So it is a pH neutralizer, so it only allows half the tan to absorb where you put it. So that way the hands and the feet and any dry areas aren't going to get too dark. It's not like that. So I can just mist right over that, and we're just going to wipe it off at the end. You can do it also on the hands, on the elbows and knees, but you don't have to. I think right now I'm going to leave it and see how we look at the end. And then I like to, for extra kind of protection, put some sort of little foot booty on the bottom. You can use socks, little half socks, and actually wash them and do laundry, or you can kind of use these disposable ones if you want to kind of avoid the laundry part of it. And I will do your back first. So if you want to do your back towards me, perfect. So when guests come to you, they might, I try to make it easy for people to wear whatever they want. So I tell people, wear whatever's comfortable with you. Most people just wear undies, but you can wear whatever you want. And you can decide in your own business if you're okay, if people want to go nude without any tan lines, totally up to you. I like to make it as easy as possible for people to do business with us. So as long as you feel comfortable, I think it's a good idea to have as few restrictions as you can. As you can see, wherever I'm tanning, I'm level with her. I'm never shooting downward. So if I'm doing the legs, I'm level with the legs, and I always keep the gun moving. This distance is a good kind of distance to where I'm wrapping, and I'm always keeping the gun moving. And I always try to finish one area kind of before I go on to the next. So I've done this one leg here, and I'll do this leg, and you can tell, so I'm not just going straight down, but I'm completely wrapping. So that way we don't have any harsh lines at all. And by the time I get to the side or the inner leg, I've already wrapped it, and I really don't even have to spray too much. I'm just kind of tying it in. Okay, one hip towards me, and then arm up. One of the best things that you can do, especially the guest's first time spray tanning with you, is use really clear language so that they aren't nervous about what to do. So I usually do, like you can see, I usually show her exactly what I mean, because it's a little awkward at first. Like hip towards me, sometimes people are kind of not sure which way to go. So it's best to make sure you try to, use clear language, and make sure, especially the guest's first time, it's not stressing at all. Okay, arm down just like this, perfect. And you can tell it's a super fine mist, so there's never any speckles or any drips or drops. But if anything does happen, we have blending brushes, and you can blend it in really easily. You really can't make a mistake. I have so many people that start out so nervous, but you really can't make a mistake as long as you double check everything and use your blending brush. And then inner arm like this. The inner arm is definitely the most difficult of all places, so you might want to double check that at the end. But I think that's the trickiest part of kind of any spot on the body. In the back of the arm, please, just like that. So you can see I'm really moving around her rather than having her move, and I'm getting in every possible area. Okay, then flip around, please. Same thing, other side. So other hip towards me, and then arm up like this. Perfect. And so you can see the instant color is awesome. There's an instant color guide in the solution, so you can see exactly where it's going. But it's not too much. So after this dries, so say she hangs out for the next couple hours, by the time she goes to bed, it's gonna rub off very, very little on her sheets, which is really, really one of the best things about our solution, is you do have that instant color, that instant bronzing color, so you can see how tan they're getting, arm down, and the guests can see how tan they're getting, but it's not too dark to where it's just like a mess. You can't get in your car, you can't go on white sheets. It's really just sensitive for the first, really sensitive for like the first 5-10 minutes, but then just for like the first hour, it's sensitive, inner arm. But after that, it's really low maintenance, and it doesn't kind of control your day. And then back of the arm a little bit. Thank you. All right, and then face front, and then arms out like this. This is the only little double check I do before I go on to the other parts of the body, because like I said, that's really the easiest part to miss, just kind of that inner arm area. Then I'm gonna go down to one leg. So this whole cup, if filled to the top, holds 4 ounces. Usually I don't fill it, oh, there we go, that's what I was waiting for. I usually don't fill it all the way to the top, just because there's a little hole and I don't wanna risk kind of any kind of popping out. So if you fill the whole thing to the top, that's 4 ounces. So I probably filled it for maybe just about 2.5 ounces so far, and I'll kind of do the same thing again. So Amanda, I'm tanning her pretty dark though, but she's such a small girl. I really am not going to use that much tanning solution. So 4 is really a good average, I'd say. So then always remember, obviously, where you left off, but it's pretty easy to tell. And then I always, like I said, so now I've wrapped the sides, so it makes it very easy to kind of continue wrapping, and there are no harsh lines at all. So I'll do the front of one leg, and then I'll do the front of the other leg, and then I'll do both inner legs. Okay, perfect. And then inner leg on this one, please. Perfect. Awesome. And then inner leg on the other one. Now, this is not my first time tanning, Amanda. If it was, I probably would go just a little bit lighter. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of our technicians make is they'll tan the guest too dark their first time, and we want to make sure that it always looks natural and it really is exactly what the guest wanted. I would much rather them come back to us the second time and say, I absolutely loved it, but a little bit darker this time, rather than people be too dark the first time out of the gate. Arms out just a little bit. Then I'm going to go on to the stomach. I always do the chest last, because it'll fall from the face, and sometimes you don't even need to do the chest very much. And so you can see I'm always moving, always wrapping, always keeping the gun moving. All right, you ready for the face? All right, eyes closed, and I'll just do one side. It's totally safe to breathe in, but most people kind of just hold their breath just because it's kind of just a light mist going over your face. All right, and then the other side. The first burst is just a burst of air, so I always go gently down. You never want to go directly on the face, because they'll kind of get like a burst right in their face. So you'll kind of just go right to the side. So I start off to the side and just work my way gently down, kind of always shooting down and working it through the shoulder. And then the middle of the face, take a little breath. You ready? Awesome. And then right on the middle of the face, and then I'll just wrap right through the neck and the chest. So you can see I really don't need that much on the chest, because so much has fallen kind of from the rest. And then I'll touch up kind of where right along the tan line, you want to make sure they have nice, strong tan lines. Okay, and then face front. Do you mind if we peek at a little tan line and see how our tan is progressing? You want to just pull it down on any little area? Looks good, right? It's crazy, because as they get tan, you can tell, like, oh wow, I look tan, but it's really not until they see the tan lines they're like, oh my gosh, I look really tan, I look really good. Then I'll have you do your back towards me. So now I've tanned her completely head to toe. Now I'll go back through and perfect anything. So if she has any drips or drops, or if you have anyone that has difficult, if they have tan lines that need evening out, or if they have any bends or creases or folds, this is when I would do it. No matter what, I tan everyone the same way, head to toe, the first pass. Deal with anything difficult or tricky, your second pass. So if she has any bends or any folds, I would have her just move to the side and just kind of blend it in and spray. Or sometimes underneath the bum, you'll have them kind of like lean forward, use the brush, and kind of blend out any areas. She looks really good. She looks really nicely covered. So I'll just do the top of the shoulders, the top of the arms, just a little bit more, just so it looks sun-kissed. At this second pass, you always want to do them just a little bit darker where the sun would naturally hit, so it really looks as natural as possible. Okay, face front again. Looks good. Okay, so then I'm going to take off your foot booties. And so her feet are just a little bit, her feet look really good as is, but I want to take off that barrier cream. So I'll give you this to rub the palm of your hands and your fingernails. And then I'll just rub off the sides of her feet. The benefit of having these foot booties is it really makes it nice so that the sides of the feet and the dry parts of the feet don't get too much tanning solution. The feet are one of the trickiest parts, but one of the easiest parts of spray tanning if you have tricks up your sleeve. So right now I'm wiping all the barrier cream off the feet, and I really like it just as is, because when I'm wiping it off, I'm kind of blending it down. There are no harsh lines. I like to leave the feet a little bit lighter than the rest of the body, just because the feet are so dry and they should never be super tan. Sometimes once you wipe off this barrier cream, their feet are going to be a little bit too white, and you might need to mist over it just a little bit. And make sure also you get in the toenails just to make sure nothing's kind of sitting in there. And then I'll take that, thank you. And then I'll just double check her hands to make sure there are no lines or anything else that needs evening out. The wrists are another tricky area, but really the barrier cream hydrates them really nicely. So it really turns out nicely even just after you take off the barrier cream. That's all you need to do. That's it. So you can see if I wasn't stopping. Oh yeah, go for it.
What do you do for those clients who are insistent that you apply more skin to their feet?
Yes.
Like they just resist, even though you tell them over and over again, no, your feet are going to absorb so much differently from the rest of your body.
Yes.
What verbiage maybe I guess?
Yes.
Do you use to get them to understand that their feet are going to be a hot mess if they don't
Yes.
let it be?
So smart. Well, first of all, you could kind of appease them a little bit and just kind of cover. So I'll always cover the toes because I don't want the toes to get anything. So I could just use these baby wipes and just mist over the feet just a little bit. But I would absolutely tell them that your feet are the driest area of your body. Having too much tanning solution on them is just going to make them look unnatural. So usually I'll just mist them a little bit, cover the toes, mist them a little bit, and tell them you don't want it too dark. And, so you kind of give them a little, but you kind of talk them out of it because you're exactly right. Too dark of feet, especially if people let their skin get dry at all, you have to have flawless hands and feet with a sunless tan, bottom line. And if you do your part and if they keep their skin hydrated, it's so easy. I see so many people with sunless tanning or spray tan lines on their hands and feet, and it's so crazy because it's so easy to avoid. But the barrier creams really help it just hydrate and blend, that even if they don't hydrate like they should, it still will turn out pretty nicely. Similar question to that I get a lot is some people just really do not want to do their face, but the face is one of the best parts. It makes you look glowing. It makes everything even. They say, oh, I'll just adjust my makeup, but it never quite looks the same. So always try to talk your guests into the face, even if it's just a light mist. It's a water base. It's made with all natural products. It's lighter than putting makeup on, really. It doesn't clog pores. So really, especially guests first time, at least let them get you to mist their face kind of down into the neck, because the face is the best part. A lot of times people are really hesitant about what they put on their face, and we want to make sure that they understand it's super gentle, and you gotta try the face. It's the best part. One of our best promotions that we do is our accounts will go into a gym or a dermatologist's office and set up in the corner and literally do face tans all day. Tuck a towel into their shirt, put a beauty cap on, and just mist people's faces really lightly. They look so good. I mean, people go home and it really convinces them that they really love the service. So a face tan is key. I mean, a face tan in itself can sell the whole service. So make sure people tan their face. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah. You can offer an exfoliating service if you want, but I never want to make it too complicated for people. So really the only time when people really need to exfoliate is if you have any funky areas or super dry patches. Other than that, I like nice clean skin with a light layer of lotion, and you don't have to worry about exfoliating too much. Obviously, it's better to be on freshly showered, shaved, exfoliated skin, just because the tan will grab onto a fresher layer of skin and it'll last that much longer, but it's not essential. Certainly don't turn your people away or have them go home to shower, shave, exfoliate. It's just not that essential. It lasts a full week. Some people it lasts a full 2 weeks if you are lucky and have really good skin that works with a sunless tan, but it's all about hydrating the skin. So if you keep your skin really well hydrated, on everybody it will last a full week. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Renee is going to come up next. Let's do that now. Renee's going to come up next. Renee is our director of education. She is as obsessed with this industry as I am, and yep, $1 million tan all the time. And she'll show you exactly how to use the brush. You can even just jam into your normal session, and you can just use the brush as you normally would. The brush is really an amazing tool for any perfecting. So if you need to even out tan lines, if you have anyone, so if someone has large breasts and if you just tan them without doing any details, you'll have white lines underneath. So after you're all done with the tan, like I said, you tan everybody head to toe completely even. Then you deal with any special circumstances. You would literally have them kind of lean back, and you can use the brush to brush under, spray a little bit more, and brush out any funky areas. The brush is really literally magical for any weird areas, any funky situations, scars or lines or anything like that. Looks good. Okay, so you can see she's using the barrier cream lotion, which works the same way. It's a pH neutralizer, only allows half the tanning solution to absorb where you put it. So that way on these drier areas and super important areas, we don't get absorption of tanning solution. So then she's doing the barrier cream first, and then the foot booties, and that allows the foot booties also make it nice and easy. So there's no they're not stepping on tanning solution. You don't have to. We have a lot of accounts that don't do the foot booties at all, and it's no problem. You just want to make sure at the very end you just wipe the bottom of the feet with a baby wipe. So you can see we always do the same method, and when you start to really build your spray tan business and your spray tan technique, having a set routine is really, really essential. We always start with the back because it's kind of the biggest set area. You can determine how dark you want to get them, also how the tanning solution's going to absorb, and it's just kind of the easiest platform to start with and kind of get a good plan going for their entire tan. So you do the back first, then the back of one leg, and then the back of the other leg. That's really the best way to get the basics down. It's a nice, most even, straight area to kind of figure out your game plan for the rest of the tan.
Right under the butt cheek, we have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like this, and it gets that white area out. You just kind of want to buff it in. It's a nice little.
Yeah, and you can see all these details literally just take a couple seconds each if you kind of know your tricks, know your game plan. It's so easy to kind of do all these little things that really make it custom and really make it perfect for people. So next we do the sides. So arm up. You never want to shoot the underarm. It gets enough overspray, and you don't want any kind of tanning buildup in the underarm. So it gets plenty of overspray. No need to spray it. Same thing with the feet. I never spray the feet until the very end because they get enough overspray from falling, and then at the very end you can kind of perfect the feet. So you don't have to worry about spraying them when you're doing anything else. But you can see Renee is efficient. She knows her process. She knows her kind of her flow and the areas that she's going to do. Also, if something happens and she gets stopped mid-tan, she knows exactly where she left off because she's doing it the same way. Sometimes we have spray tan artists that really want to be creative and do it different ways, which I totally understand, but it's really not efficient because if someone knocks on the door or you go to refill your spray tan solution and you are thinking about something else and go back, it's easy to lose track of, did I do the inner arm or did I not do the inner arm? So if you're always doing the same technique, it's really easy to pick up where you left off. So you can see the key is keep your good distance and keep your gun moving quickly. It's all about giving no harsh lines and just giving that really, really fine mist all over. The only way that you can have drips or if you can have kind of too much tanning solution on one area is if you're not moving it quickly enough and too much tanning solution builds up on one area. Like I said, no problem. It's totally fixable with the brush, but if you keep it moving, you'll never even have to encounter that. Any questions about what Renee's tanning? Yeah. Yes. Yes, great question. So we have two types of tanning solution. We have Tan Icon and Tan Icon Extreme. A very heavy application of Tan Icon is like a very light application of Tan Icon Extreme. So they're both very buildable and very gradual. In a bind, you could really use either on anybody, but the Tan Icon is our original solution, and it's perfect for more fair-skinned people. You can use Tan Icon to get a fair person a very, very nice natural tone. And on the contrary, you can use Tan Icon Extreme to literally get a bodybuilder ready for a bodybuilding competition. They're both very buildable and very gradual. You simply keep applying more and more based on how tan they want to be. The great thing about the instant bronzing color is they can see exactly how tan they are when they leave you. Of course, as their tan develops, they're going to get darker, but that kind of catches up with the instant bronzing color. And then by the time they shower off, they're a really nice color, even better than the color they are when they leave you, because there's not product packed on their skin. So it's nice because it gives them, we always have a mirror in the room no matter what, and they can see exactly how tan they are, and they can give you a guide. The first thing when you start talking to your guests, the first thing I always say is, tell me about what you're looking for, exactly how tan you want to be. And like I said, never tan them too tan. Always go more conservative, especially their first time. But once people come to you 1 or 2 times, you'll know exactly what they want. You'll know which solution you prefer. There are a lot of brands that use maybe 10 different types of tanning solution, and it's so crazy to me. Like I said, we are such a grassroots company. We're in with our accounts. We're talking to everybody. We're helping people set up. We're at their grand openings. We're really in there, so we really get the good feedback still from our guests. And really, it just makes it way too complicated if you have more solution. So say you start with a level 1, and you're tanning, and it's not really a buildable type solution, and the guest wants to be more tan, then you're mixing product, and you're kind of making your own concoction. It's hard to know the next time you tan them how to achieve that same color or how to achieve a different color. So it's really nice with the 2 solutions that cover all skin tones, all skin types, because like I said, they're both so buildable and so gradual. It's so easy to achieve whatever color you want, no matter what skin tone they are when they arrive and what skin tone they want to be. Looks good. Nice and tan. And you can see that literally probably took Renee, 7 minutes. Awesome. Thank you. You look gorgeous. Okay, so any other questions kind of about, yeah, go for it.
I have a question about, I get a lot of clients calling me asking about the solution being organic.
Yes.
So, very in-depth about that.
Yes.
What do you tell a client
Yes.
about the solution being organic?
Yes. Organic solution is a really tricky situation. I'm glad you asked. There's no way for a tanning solution to be completely 100%. Yes. There's no way for it to be completely all natural and completely organic and still work. Not possible. We use as many raw organic ingredients as possible, and we make it as all natural as possible. So there are 2 things. Anyone who's saying that they have completely organic solution and it produces a good result is not telling the truth. It's just not possible to make it. It's just not one of those industries. But it's one of those things where we make it as natural as possible, and you only put it on your skin once a week. It's not something you're putting on your body twice a day, every day. It's still good for you. We use great hydrating ingredients. So we make it as natural as possible, but there's no way to get it 100% organic and make it still work. We own parts of 3 labs. We buy all of our own raw materials, and we are literally in there making this stuff. When we meet with the chemists, and we're always pushing them for more, we want it to be more natural and more organic and last longer and all these things, they literally tell us, do you want it to be organic or do you want it to work? Because in the sunless tanning industry, you just can't go too aggressive on the all-natural stuff without compromising the function of it. So we just do it as best we can, and it's still very good. It's very delicate on the skin. It's very delicate on the face, but it just has to work. There's no point of, if we have something that's 100% organic, but it comes off in 2 days, which is really what would happen. So we really try to stay cutting edge to make sure it's as natural as possible. But it has to perform. It has to perform the best. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. My favorite is to charge $40 for one tan, and then to make it less expensive if they buy packages. So maybe if you buy a package of 12, you could get it as inexpensive as $25 or $28, which probably sounds inexpensive to you, but your cost is $3 and it takes you 10 to 15 minutes. So don't be afraid to give people a discount if they purchase more upfront, because you want those regular people. You don't want to make it hard for them to come to you. We want to make it efficient and we want to make it affordable. So I like $40 as a base price. Obviously, it's going to be more or less depending on your location, or if you're mobile, it's going to be more, maybe even double. Maybe if you're doing it out of your home, maybe it's a little bit more reasonable, like $30. And keep in mind, people will always tip you, and oftentimes they'll tip you more if it's more reasonable. You know, if you already feel like you're kind of paying a premium for something, you feel like you don't want to tip much on top of it. But we find that most people, if you charge $40, most people give you $50. So that's really kind of my favorite pricing structure. On our website, we have a bunch of different pricing structures depending on where you're at. Maybe if you're in a high-end spa or high-end salon, maybe your price is more like $60. I really try not to get too high to where it goes over that. We have awesome resort accounts like the Westin Maui, and I think their price is $90 for one tan. But that's because they're not trying to get regular tanners. They're not trying to get once-a-week tanners. They have vacation tanners. I'm on vacation. I don't want to lay out in the sun and have sun exposure. Or maybe people can't even tan. Maybe they get red and splotchy and not even tan. But I want to go back to Idaho, tan, so I'll pay $90 for that one tan. But that's not affordable for people on the regular, at home, in their normal lives. So I like to make sure that your price is reasonable enough so people can do it once a week, and you're not pricing yourself out of the market. And you're not having people go, well, I'll just go to a booth for $25 instead of paying $55. And I know it's not as good, and I know it's not going to last as long, but the other one's just too much to do all the time. So if you really keep your pricing reasonable, you'll have your people come so much more often. Another huge thing, spray tanning is really 50% of your profits. The other 50% is retail. Retail is everything. If we go in and help transform an account and get them going, selling retail to people, it literally doubles their business. It's brilliant. Because most people, if they come to you for their weekly sunless tan, they're going to want something to touch up. So they touch up maybe if they spent 2 hours in a hot tub, or if they go to Vegas and they're in a Vegas pool with lots of chlorine, or if they go on vacation and they can't come to you all the time. So this is our retail line here. There's all sorts. We have 3 different products that make you tan. We have mousses, sprays, and lotions. They all come in regular and extreme, and they're really great products. They never will replace the actual spray tan. We have accounts all the time that are worried about that, and after that, I explain it to them, and they get going. They're like, you're so right. People are going to buy some sort of touch-up products, so they should be buying it from you. They trust you. They're coming to you every week for their weekly spray tan. They should be buying their touch-up products from you. So every time a guest comes to you, they should be buying either a package of tans or retail products, or both. Bottom line, every single time, unless they're a student or they really can't afford it. That's the only kind of pass card you have. Any other time, they should absolutely be purchasing retail. It's huge, and it will completely transform your business. And you can start out light with them. Like our face products sell really, really well. The face exfoliates twice as fast as the rest of the body. So sending someone home with at least a face product is such a great idea, because they'll keep up the tan. They can use it in between their tanning sessions. Usually, if your tan lasts a week, you'll need to touch up your face at least one time in between. And if people are using any sort of retin-A type products or any sort of exfoliating products on their face, your face is obviously going to, your tan on your face is obviously going to exfoliate just a little bit faster. So retail is huge. I'd be happy to go in depth with any of you about all the different retail products. But as far as a business standpoint goes, selling them retail products not only will make you more money up front, but it will make your guest more dedicated and really love coming to you and love the service. It's the exact same color as their original tan, so it just makes their tan flawless all the time. In fact, they can actually purchase the exact same tanning solution that you use in their tan. This is Tan Icon. We also have Tan Icon Extreme, and these come with a brush, so they can use the exact same tanning solution. Again, don't worry, there's no way that this bottle could replace this awesome machine, but it's just made for a touch-up. They can touch this up and blend it with a brush. They can spray it in their hand and add it to their face moisturizer. It's just a great way for people to maintain their tan all the time. And again, we're about making this efficient and easy. It's not this big process. It doesn't have to be this big adventure unless you want it to be. We have some people who love their sunless tanning touch-up and they use a mitt and they, blend all these different things, which you absolutely can do. But we're in the business of helping you build really successful spray tan and sunless tanning businesses. And the best way to do it is make it affordable and easy and make sure that you sell people follow-up retail as well. Yeah.
Do you have many mobile accounts who do the retail? And if so, how do you work out all that?
Yes, great question. Most of our mobile accounts will have small sets set up. So we have awesome gift bags with either 2 or 4 products. So rather than kind of having the whole line and carrying 6 of everything with them, they'll kind of pick what they like the best, so what they're going to sell the best. So you might have the whole line, but if you personally really love the mousse because it's whipped, and I'll show you guys, this product is unlike any other mousse. You apply it with a blending brush, and it's just whipped, and it's whipped bronze perfection. You'll see it here. So it's literally like just such a nice creamy tan color, and it just goes on so nice and evenly. It just sells really well and people really love it. So if you're in a situation where you have kind of a small retail space, or if you're mobile and you can't carry all this stuff, pick what you like the best. We can set you up in little sets like this. So you could put your favorite 4 products, and then maybe you just have 2 sets that you carry with you. So it's gonna have something like I'll put together right here exactly what I would put together. So if I'm doing mobile, I would put in a Mermaid Mousse Extreme Face. I would put in a Mermaid Mousse Extreme Body. Of course, I'm obsessed with all the products, but this complexion protection is an SPF broad spectrum sunscreen. We're all about sun safety and skin health, and sunscreen is one of the most important things to obviously protect your skin, but also reduce early aging and lines and wrinkles. And preventative is huge. And so if your people are doing sunless tanning, most likely they're concerned about their skin and the health of their skin and avoiding too much sun exposure. This is a 50 SPF broad spectrum cosmetic sunscreen. So you put it on after your moisturizer, but before your makeup, and it's literally invisible. I really believe that people don't use sunscreen just because it's white, it's chalky, it smells, it's inconvenient. This literally is a cosmetic sunscreen that completely disappears and gives you the sun protection you need. Most people figure that they're wearing sunscreen every day, but really you probably only have 15 or 20 from your moisturizer or your makeup. And if your moisturizer has 15 SPF and your foundation has 15, you still have 15 coverage. You don't have 30 coverage. It doesn't add on itself. So this is a 50 SPF broad spectrum, just the best sunscreen that you can have for your face, but a little goes a long way. You can even use it neck and arms easily. So, of course, that product would go in my mobile tanning kit because that's an obsession. And then All That Shimmers is every tanner's obsession. 10 minutes, all right, thank you. Every tanner's obsession is this one, All That Shimmers. It's just the most... This is an after product that enhances the look of your tan. So you wouldn't do this the day that you actually do your sunless tanning. You do this the day that you're going somewhere. All of us who are tan obsessed don't go anywhere without this guy. It literally is a dry oil shimmer that just enhances. I already have some on, so you're not even going to be able to see the before and after, but I'll do a ton so you can kind of see how, it's just, that's a lot. But it just really enhances the look of the tan. I think I might need to redo the amount of that. I've got a little All That Shimmers happy. But you can see that it just really enhances the look of the tan. There's no glitter, just shimmer, and it just makes everything just look so nice and bronzed and glowy. It also is a great product to use if you're at the end of the life of your sunless tan. So maybe you tanned on Wednesday, but you have a dinner on Sunday, and your tan looks good, but it needs a little pick-me-up. This is an awesome way to give instant color to kind of add to your skin and add to your tan and just give kind of that extra sheen and radiance. Kind of back to retail, I would pick my 4 favorite products that fit in a bag like this, do 2 sets so that you have the regular version and the extreme version, sell this at a discount, which is great because we sell it at a discount to you in addition to your 50% off because you're buying it in a set. And then you would have 2 sets and you would just sell this stuff all day, every day. Make it simple. This little pack I think is around, I don't know. Do you know how much this guy is? I'd have to price out each individual product, but no matter what, they would get 20% off. from this. And then your discount as a wholesaler is, of course, 50% off. But when you buy kits like this, you get even a higher discount, so it's more like 60% off. Yeah, so your profit on the retail products is so huge. We're one of the only brands that we want to really incentivize you. So when you purchase wholesale from us, if you buy a 6-pack of any products, you get your normal 50% off wholesale. But if you buy a 12-pack of any product, same size, same item, you get 60% off. So your profit on this is just huge. You buy a bottle for 20, you sell it for 40, or most likely if you're buying multiple from us, you're buying it for 16 or 18 from us and you're selling it for 40. The profit in there is just huge, and the products sell really well. We don't have anything in our line that's not a hero product. If it's not a hero product, we eliminate it. There's no fluff. We have a scrub, we have a sunscreen, we have a shimmer, we have lotions, mousses, sprays. We have the 2 versions of the barrier cream and the barrier oil, so you can kind of choose. So everything is really, and you can even sell the barrier products to your guests if they're going to use these at-home products and they want to kind of perfect their tan as well. So I can't speak enough about retail products, and we have a lot of great resources on our website, but this is one of the best ways to really, really maximize your sunless tanning business. What other questions? I love this stuff. Yeah. Yes. Renee, my director of education, could answer this so much better than I can because I bring her my guns all the time that need a little love and attention. But it's honestly so easy. You literally pour out the tanning solution that you have, and then just to not waste the tanning solution that's in the line, I spray the solution into the bottle as long as the bottle's not too full, so the solution's going to fly out. And then you just pour warm water in the cup and spray it through until it sprays clear at the end of every day. That's it. Literally warm water. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you forget, and if you can do it as often as possible, that's great. But if you forget, it doesn't clog it. If it does, it's very easy to take apart. But most of the time, as long as you attend to it, most times you won't even have to take it apart or have any issues like that. The manufacturer is Iwata Medea, and they're an amazing company. There's a 2-year warranty on the equipment, but we have such a great relationship with them. We've been doing business with them for over 12 years. So come to us and we'll help you with anything. Say you have a customer trips on this and this goes flying and something breaks off. We'll ship you something right away, or Iwata will. We have a great working relationship to where they know our accounts are top priority for us. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, doesn't matter what happened or what year they bought the items. We have to get them their stuff so that their business can keep up and running. Like I said, we are in the business of helping you build really efficient, awesome spray tan businesses. And it has to be efficient for you, so we make everything that we do with you nice and easy and affordable and seamless. And then in turn, you do the same thing with your guests. You're giving them a really quick, efficient, reasonable tan. Yeah. Overspray is really the only downside of spray tanning. I mean, it really is the only downside. But there are so many ways to combat the overspray. So we like black washable filter air purifiers. So if I'm in a small space, I'll set up 2 of those on either side, and that really helps to kind of suck it out of the air. I'm not a big fan of like the massive wall units with the big extraction fans. Again, you don't want anything loud in your room. When I'm working with that guest, that 15 minutes that I have with them, of course I'm getting to know them and I'm chatting with them, but I'm really educating them on the tan. I'm educating them on retail. I'm not waiting like most people do until they get to the counter and they're already thinking about, okay, I'm gonna pick up my dry cleaning, I'm gonna go pick up the kids. Like, I want them in the room to be thinking about how the tan works and what retail products they might want. So I talk to them about their life and what they're used to, and I mention these products. So it's just a casual mention, but they appreciate it because you're educating them, and you're not just saying, oh, you should buy this, this, and this, but you're really educating them on why it would be good for them, giving them a really personal advice. And then by the time they come to the counter, you have a really nice, comfortable, not a hard, pressured sale of the products that they want to purchase or the package that they want to purchase. When I'm doing the spray tan, I'm telling them about our packages, about the pricing, the best way to do it, and the best way to extend the life and maintain their tan with the retail products. So if you do that when you're tanning them, by the time you're done, your job is so easy because you're at that point you're kind of just talking about details rather than starting at that point, which to me is too late to be starting talking about packages or retail. Any other questions? You know I could talk your ear off, yeah. Yes. Yes, yes. So we have a tent like this that works really nicely. You stand outside of it, obviously, and your guest is inside of it, and it really can contain the spray very nicely. We also have a larger tent that takes a couple minutes to set up and down, so it's not as convenient as that one, but it gives you enough space so you both can fit inside. If you're tanning at your home or maybe at other people's homes, I love tanning outside if the weather permits. It dries so quickly. It's just so easy. There's no mess at all. So if you can set up one of these two tents kind of in a private area of a backyard or an outside area, that's my favorite place to tan, obviously, besides in a salon or a spa or something like that if I'm doing mobile or at home. But yes, this tent will absolutely control the overspray, no problem, or the bigger tent. Or sometimes if you're in a private area, you don't even have to use a tent at all, depending on kind of what your setup is. There's so many different ways to set up a room to make it efficient for spray tanning. An air purifier is key. A mirror is key, so the guests can really look at themselves at the end and say, okay, that's perfect, or can you make me darker on my chest? Can you make me darker all over? Can you make me darker on their face? Also, it's great for your sales. So if they turn around and look in the mirror and look in their tan line and they're like, oh my gosh, I look so much better. That's one of the best things about this is it's instant. Nothing's instant. You can, exercise for a month and you barely see a difference, or, all the different things we do. This is instant, and it instantly makes you look better. And so you, as from a business perspective, you need to use that to your advantage. They look in the mirror and they're like, I look awesome. Perfect. I'm in love with this. I want to always look like this. I want my legs always to look like this, not dimply and pale like mine looked 2 days ago. Like, I want to always look this tan. So a mirror is essential in your room. So that way, they love it right away. They buy more packages, they buy more retail, and they love you even more. That's the whole name of the game. We want your people to be dedicated to you, to where they come to you every week. They would never go to anyone else because they know that you have them covered. You're going to make it easy. You're going to make it affordable. You're going to make it quick, and most importantly, you're going to give them a really good, flawless spray tan that looks natural. All right, we just have a couple more minutes. Any more questions? Yeah.
Do you ever avoid, that I've had this problem before, tanning a client actually in front of the mirror, where they're
Yes.
seeing every move you make. Oh, no, we go darker, we go darker.
Yes.
Try to, leave the mirror for the big reveal.
Yes, that is such a good point. You definitely don't want to ask people too many questions to where they micromanage your tan. It's kind of like, just wait till I'm done and then you can tell me what you think. So that's a great idea. And also, that's a great idea for your point. Another point with that is, especially guests first time, you don't want them to be uncomfortable half naked in front of you. So it's so much worse if you're standing in front of a mirror half naked looking at yourself naked. It's so much better if you're not looking at yourself while it's being done. So absolutely, if you can kind of position it on a wall to where they can't micromanage your tan and worry about every detail, because by the time you're done, I'm sure they're gonna love it. And also, so it makes it less uncomfortable for them, because it just makes it a little bit too real if you're looking at yourself in the nude or almost in the nude and you see exactly what the person's seeing. I have the mirror off, make it more comfortable, chatting the whole time. So, but the whole kind of being half naked in front of a stranger thing really rubs off. I mean, really, people aren't worried about after the first tan. After they see the benefit and after they see how quick it is, that really isn't a concern. But yeah, I think the main thing that I want to make sure that I get across is education is everything. Making sure that you're well educated and making sure that you educate your guests so they know how to take care of their tan. That's really what we've built our business on and why we've been so successful, because we use the very best products with the very best ingredients. We make sure all of our accounts have all the information they need. All training and education with us is always free. You can always come to our headquarters, do a one-on-one training with Renee, our director of education, or when we do events or seminars, everything's free. We always want to educate you. We want to help you. If you're having a grand opening, let us know. We'll come if we can. We'll send support. We'll do whatever we can to help you, because it's such a brilliant business, and you can make so much money doing it. You can have so much fun and make people so happy, and that's why we love it, and I feel like that's why we're the masters and we're the experts at it. So let us help you build your dream spray tan business. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep. Yep, great question. There is a little bit of a drying agent in it, so you're not standing, because otherwise you literally would be standing without a drying agent for like 15, 20 minutes, which some solutions have. You literally have a dry time. With us, by the time you adjust any details on their hands and feet, they're totally dry and they're completely ready to go. And they're not sticky either. They could feel like a tiny bit tacky, but not for more than an hour. A lot of different types of spray tan solutions, literally, you kind of have to walk like this. I'm not going to dinner, I'm in a tan, and I'm gonna sit. Like, that's the plan. Whereas with this, you're a little bit tacky for the first hour, but after that, you don't look scary tan because of the bronzer. You're not super sticky or super uncomfortable. You're not leaving traces of tan everywhere, marks. You really just kind of like that first hour, it's a little bit sensitive. But we've really fine-tuned the solution to where it dries quickly, it's easy, and it doesn't get everywhere. Yeah.
For your client that's like an evening tanner that like
Yes.
in the evening and then goes
Yes.
what do you recommend? Okay, like I'm mobile. What do you recommend? I'm leaving the house. Wait X amount of time before you jump into the bed. Because I know that I've had clients who have jumped right into the bed and then they wake up and it's a little
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah, I think just like I said, it's only sensitive for like an hour. So really, I mean, if they wait an hour or if they want to wait a little bit less, but just put on long sleeves and pants, then they could hop right in. But if they wait an hour, they'll be totally good. They can wear anything they want. But if they want to hop right in, just tell them wear like dark, long sleeves and long pants, just so it's not. But you really should let it settle in for at least just a couple minutes before just to kind of not mess anything up. But once it's on, it's really on. So even if you rub or even if you mess up, it's usually just the bronzer that's messing up, and once you shower off, it all evens out beautifully.
That actually brings me to another good question
Yeah.
that I get a lot with my situation being mobile.
Yep.
What kind of verbiage do you use to the client? Like once I've left the house, they call me back in an hour and sheer panic because they've done something and they've messed up the tan. How do you explain to the client and calm them?
Yes.
It's gonna be fine. It's just the bronzer.
Yes. Yeah, exactly that. So really, it's the topical bronzer that's the only thing that has been messed up. Once you're tan and once you've kind of settled them, anything else, the only thing that can really affect, like within the first hour, if they're washing their hands and speckling water or anything like that, that's really the only thing that could really affect it. And in that case, they would literally take a brush or take a mitt and kind of blend in those areas. Or you could even take a little bit of body lotion and blend it in. But 9 times out of 10, don't worry, it's just the bronzer. Shower off in the morning and everything will even out nicely. Yeah, okay, so I'll be around for a little bit. Also, Renee, our Director of Education, will be around, and we'd love to answer any more kind of one-on-one questions that you guys have. Thank you guys so much for coming, and enjoy the rest of IMATS.